You're over 50 years and you're approaching retirement without a plan, and this video will help you. Hi, my name is Nigel, an educator turned entrepreneur, and over the last 17 years, I've been on a single quest to sort out my retirement plan. In this video, I'm not going to talk about retiring. I'm going to talk about what I did after my life turned turtle, and what I thought was a retirement plan was shattered. I had to start over. Starting over after 50 is scary. But it's not blind scary. And the truth is, you're not starting from zero. So instead of me saying to you, okay, everything is at zero and I'm starting over, listen to this story. After a career as a school teacher, I opened a tutoring and learning center. I worked there for 10 years, serving more than 1,000 families and helping students get into some of the best colleges. More than a dozen students I've helped to get into college for free. After working there for years and running a very successful enterprise, my wife and I invited one of our former clients to help us manage the office. She defrauded us, betrayed us, and ran off with tens of thousands of dollars. What I thought would have been my retirement plan, a learning center, was shattered. I lost the office. We were renting, preparing to buy a single family house. I lost the house. My son was in college. He was pulled out of college. And I went from making $300,000+ a year, owning and running a profitable tutoring company, to zero. The next few months was litigation, and 24 months of litigation led me to just one conclusion. Start over, do something different, move faster. This is why I choose to record this video. Because in the last 7 years of doing just that, I've been able to sell more than $5 million as a brand new company owner doing emergency restoration services. And I wanted to be able to, in this video, give hope to just one person who is facing retirement and don't know what to do. Because when my entire life imploded, I didn't know what to do. With the help of a coach, with the help of a therapist, I was able to rediscover my identity, help myself out of the throes of depression, from feeling suicidal, from feeling depressed, from feeling that my whole world was over, to today I can sit down and properly share with someone, look, when you're starting over, I don't want you to focus on 10 things. Focus on one thing. Being older, being over 50, you would have acquired skills. It's not the big fancy skills. Don't think I need to be an expert. You don't. I'm a former school teacher. I know to teach. When I left teaching, I opened a tutoring company. I enrolled 1,000 students. That meant I sat and do sales presentation to more than 3,000 parents. And for me, it wasn't important. When my coach helped me when we did our something assessment, what she called it, skills assessment. When we worked through the skills assessment and I sit down and I started to identify things that I have done, she was able to help me to narrow down to one thing. In 10 years of owning and running a tutoring company, I did 3,000 one-on-one interviews, sales presentation, tabletop meeting, whatever you want to call it. You could call that same thing a webinar, a seminar, a conference speech, a sales pitch. All of that tells you one thing, that each year of the 10 years, we serve a little more than 120 to 140 students. Whether it's one-on-one tutoring or the group SAT boot camp that we ran, I was the one doing the sale. So I learned something. I used that skill to go right back into emergency services, selling a bigger ticket, and able to grow a little concept to doing more than $1 million a year. I'm sharing that not because I want to impress on nobody. I want to share to any person who's over 50 how to start over. You reach a financial wall, you're looking at retirement, you don't have a plan. This is the plan. Identify a single skill. Identify a single pain that skill provides a solution for. Identify a single pathway. And the same way I'm talking to just you in this video, I want you to think the same way. I am not serving 100 people. I am not serving 1,000 people. I'm not serving 1,000,000 people. I'm serving just one person. When I was a teenager, I grew up in the Caribbean. I got kicked out of high school. I grew up as a nerd, reading books, studying, and then when I got into, we call it Form 4, which is literally 8th or 9th grade, thereabout. I no longer want to be identified with the geek kids, and I got gravitated to the kids who were the one who cut schools, the one who was in gang, the one who smoked weed, and I got caught up in that group. It was an identity for me. I looked like a nerd, I behaved like a nerd, I read a lot of books, and I wanted a new identity because the group of nerds weren't cool. All the girls were gravitating to the guys who were failing, cutting class, doing weed, doing drugs, everything crazy. And I got kicked out of school. I went to another high school and I graduated valedictorian of that high school. I didn't lose my skill. I was the same nerd, the same guy getting straight A's. The 2 years when I got caught up in all the craziness, I just lost my identity. And that's what I'm talking about here. You're at a point where you're over 50, you would have worked, you would have, whether it's customer service skill or babysitting skill, you have one skill. The key about skill is understanding how to present a skill to a client. When I started my tutoring company, I was providing everybody who wanted tutoring. I taught math in Silver Spring, and I wanted to teach people math. And I started telling everybody I could help you with math, but that wasn't organized, that wasn't structured. I met with a coach at a conference, and the person said to me, don't offer math. Help a child get into college by raising their SAT scores by 300 points. It's very narrow, it's very niche, it requires math tutoring, it requires English tutoring. I'm very good at English, I'm very good at math, and I could help that child. And I went out offering just that. And within a year, we went from just serving about 28, 29 students to offering more than 150 students per year tutoring. And I used that throughout. When I got into emergency service, it's not a popular thing. Your house got a water damage, your house got a fire, your house got a flood, your house got mold, your house got asbestos. I'm licensed to produce that. I have a team of staff. We go out and we service it. And the only thing I offer, we'll be there in 90 minutes to help you in your emergency. That's it. I'm not promising we got the best company in Maryland. We've served some of the biggest customers in the country with their local presence here in Maryland, DC, Virginia. I'm licensed, we are insured, we are a reputable company, but I'm promising you that in 90 minutes we'll be at your house. That's unique. Somebody who is stressed and who is going through all of their trauma because their house just got burnt down, or they just discover asbestos when they're trying to put down new floors, or they just discover that there's mold in the basement, or they just had a flood. They don't want to know if you got your IICRC certification. They don't want to know if you are qualified. They don't want to know all of that. They wanted to know, number one, are you professional enough to help me with my emergency? How long will it take for you to arrive? Are you guys licensed? Are you a legitimate company? Can you take my company's insurance? And as simple as that is, we've been able to grow that from one customer. In the past couple of years, we've done more than 500 customers. And I could name some big names, which is not important for this conversation. Because in this conversation, the only thing I wanted to identify for you, how you could start over, how you could build an income after age 50. I'm 52. I never thought in the wildest dream, I don't even like video. I never thought I would have been doing this. I know I could speak. So when my two friends approached me asking me, after your life fall apart, because it was public, I went from running a successful tutoring company, kids coming for summer camp, people coming for this. I ran it was good enough. So when I lost it all because of one person who betrayed me, I lost me in the journey. I graduated from St. Potter College at age 20 as a school teacher. So from 20 all up until then, I was known as a teacher. I was a teacher. I did teaching. When I left formal classroom, I was still a teacher. I identified as a teacher. When the entire enterprise collapsed, how do you identify yourself? What do you tell people you do? You know, I have a small business. I felt I was depressed. Though I spent $25,000 on litigation. And then when we got up to Maryland Court of Special Appeals, they said, okay, go all the way back down and start over. Completely disheveled. But I'm happy of my support circle. And my mom made a statement to me. She said, you spent $25,000 going after $70,000+. Is it worth it? You still got the skill. You still got the talent. You still got the ability to start over. I had already started my restoration company. I had already started realigning myself because I literally had to reinvent me. Look at me, I'm now no big, strong, muscular guy who can do nail and hammer and no. When I was in college in Tacoma Park, I worked in the maintenance department on campus. And during a hurricane, I learned restoration on campus. I didn't learn everything of it. I was just one of the little maintenance people there. But I learned what it is. I learned what to do. And in working with my coach, I was able to identify that single thing I could do it. I could build teams. I had tutors working for me. I could hire. I could sell. I can speak. I can present. I can share with one person dealing with a problem how to process themselves through it. And helping families through that has been one of my biggest joy. Whether it's a family dealing with a bio-trauma after somebody unexpectedly passed away, or somebody who discovered mold in their basement, or some old person on a fixed income. Recently we did a job for a lady who's 90 years old and the insurance company denied her coverage. I felt heartbroken. What do you say to a 90-year-old person? She did all that she could have done, and the insurance company asked her a few questions and she can't do it. Take pictures, turn on your phone, and I ended up calling the insurance company and advocating for the lady. They eventually covered the cost. But it was the kind of things I'm saying that people over age 50 deal with. So the overwhelm, I understand. I experienced it. I went from, I own a company, doing successful, hiring tutors, enrolling students, to I lost my everything. And I need to move out of the house. We're preparing to buy a house. All of your reserves you use up. And the person who you think was holding money run off with all the money. I'm using that because I don't know how you got here. I don't know your journey. Life could be unfair. I've heard all sorts of stories people share. And it's not my duty to judge anybody. What I could do for anybody is share with them one thing. Identify a single skill. Identify a single pain. Package it in a way that you could help one person. One person is how you start anything. That one person multiplies because all you need is an ideal person. If you're over age 50 and you're struggling with thinking about how to develop income in your retirement, that's a one person. But that person is not only one individual, because each and every person who identify as that person, you could help. Think of it as when I had my tutoring company. My only person is a child who wants to get into college and need to raise their SAT scores by 300 points. I could sell that to a child in Montgomery County, to a child in Prince George's County, to a child in Washington, D.C., to a child in Howard County, to a child in Baltimore, because it's just one solution. That solution presents itself in more than 1,000 people. That solution can be presented to more than 1,000 people because they're feeling the pain. When I was going through my entire ordeal after the betrayal, I sat down and I asked myself questions. How are you so stupid? Why didn't you look at all the signs? For 7 months, I authorized this lady to deposit all the monies coming in. And every time you approach for, okay, we need to have a meeting, we need to go through figures, it's a curse up and a blowout. And one day I sat with my attorney and I explained to him the problem. It was me willingly bringing somebody into my world. The lady left her house and came to my office. She came initially as a client when her child was in the 5th grade going into a magnet school. I worked with him. At a time, I had a little tutoring company working out of a 10 by 10 office at the back of a real estate office. I rent one room in there, and that's where I started. I grew that one room with one child up to 28 students. We ended up in 3 rooms at the back there. And then I moved to a full center and I rented a 1,800 square foot place. Why I'm sharing that? It's how you can start serving one person. If you're over 55, if you're over 50, if you're over 60, you know something. You're a professional. You can identify a single thing that you're good at, whether it's playing the piano, baking cakes, writing a recipe, helping someone budget, providing accounting services, helping people to respond to IRS, all of that. You have a life story. My life story is I started talking to people after I was betrayed. I just didn't know it was something people were interested in. One of my friends said to me, she's an accountant and she's preparing for retirement. She asked the question, Nigel, how were you able to start over and build this brand new company so successful? I didn't see it like that. For me, I was living my normal life, fighting to take care of my family, fighting to get myself back in line, trying to move ahead, don't want it to be out on the street, don't want it to X, Y, and Z. I know what to do because someone mentored me. When I was on the throes of depression, I reached out to a coach who helped me. I ended up in therapy. I ended up being coached, and that was the best borrowing money I ever did. I borrowed money to pay a coach. I didn't borrow money to build a new business. I borrowed money to pay a coach. The coach helped me to realign me. I had started losing me. I don't know your problem. I don't know what you're dealing with. I wanted to give you one line of hope today. You could start over. It's not too late. I'm going to do this series of videos providing a step-by-step plan. Not because I'm a teacher, this is a class. I wanted this to be just a simple conversation. Sometimes I can get in my own head and, become animated. I talk. I sat down for months dreading doing this video. My brother said to me something. My brother's a pastor. He said, God gave you this experience to share with somebody. Why not share it? And I sat down and I became nervous. I didn't become nervous because of what he said. I become nervous because I got to talk to people. Talking to people, I've done that almost all my adult life. But I never had to share the vulnerable part of me with people. Here I am in the open speaking to you. Because I know what I had to go through, you might be dealing with it now. When you can't say to somebody the thing that you grew doing all your years, you no longer do, who are you? Really, who are you? I used to be a school teacher. So who are you? You hear how odd that is? Yeah. But that's where I started. Because I realized the badge and the identifier as I am a teacher is an identity I thought would carry me through life. I'm here teaching. I'm here speaking. But I don't have to speak to you as though I am a teacher and you're a student and I am a teacher and I don't have to be condescending. I don't have to be patronizing. I can help one person by showing them, look, when I was in my mess, this is what I did. This is how I got out. You don't have to be as far as me. You don't have to grow to $1 million because in my first year, I went into revenge selling. That's another thing. That's a whole different, this identity is where I lost myself. The other identity is where I became this selling machine. Putting $10,000+ into marketing and just grinding and just grinding. That happens too. There's a middle line where you can say, you know what? I just want to be able to take care of me, my family, my needs. I just want to be able to serve a few people. I want to be able to impact their lives. In the process, pay my bills, take care of my life, keep my kids in college, move my family to a safe place, move my life forward. And that's what I do. That's what I've done. If this video has helped one person, or if you know one person this video could help, share it to one person. Share it to one person. Your retirement plan can be the best plan for you starting today. Your retirement don't have to be a dreaded moment. The things you do, the person you are, the skills you have, they can take you forward. And that, my friend, is all I want to do for you today. If this has helped you in any way, let me know. If it's bad, it's okay. Let me know too. All right.